And a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Broncos Stadium at Mile High as we are set today for the regular season opener of the 2018 season with the Denver Broncos playing host to the Seattle Seahawks.
We going. It's finally here. It's time to ball, man.
Let's go, Coach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go, baby. Week 1. Let's go.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Broncos recap show. The Broncos beat the Seahawks 27-24. I'm Phil Milani alongside Ray Crockett and Matt Boyer. And guys, they got the win, but what'd you think? How did they play?
I mean, first of all, you have to look at this. Last year, they could not have played through adversity. So to have 3 interceptions and still come up with a victory, that's an improvement within itself. But overall, I thought the team looked good. There's some areas we need to clean up, but just if you say 100% to 100%, from start to finish, we look good.
I agree with Ray. I thought that, good teams don't always, play to their potential, but you got to win the game. You got to find a way. And I thought they did that. I thought that the Broncos, Case didn't have his best day, but willed it, when the time came, DT in the corner at the end. I thought they played a complete game.
Yeah, if you don't play well and still get the win, that's big. That's what good teams do in this league. As you guys said, it got started with a Keenum interception.
Pass upfield, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Earl Thomas. How about that? How about paying dividends? Earl Thomas, who was out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. Welcome back, Earl.
Earl read my eyes and made a play. He makes a big difference. He's a great player. It was a poor decision on my part. It was a bad throw.
To Carson, and there's a lofted pass to Will Dissly for the touchdown.
Snap a little bit high. Keenum he throws to a wide open Philip Lindsay. Lindsay down the sideline, inside the 10, inside the 5. He's got a Denver touchdown. 29 yards on the catch and run for Philip Lindsay. His welcome to the NFL moment. In the pocket forever is Case Keenum. Wide open is Emmanuel Sanders. He's got the ball inside the 25, inside the 20. Stepped out of a tackle. Down the sideline. 10, 5. Head, shoulders into the end zone. Touchdown, Denver. Keenum, 43 yards.
First, I looked over. I saw the guy wasn't close. I was like, what can I do? You got like a split second to think about what you're going to do. So this is not the first time I turned a flip. I've been turning flips since college. So it felt good to get off in there.
Wilson in the shotgun, 4-man pressure. Wilson tries to step up, and Miller's got him. The ball is free. Miller crushed Russell Wilson.
I still don't like playing against Russell. Running around out there, 20 yards, getting everybody tired. Luckily we were able to get him before he could get started. That was in our scheme. We wanted to keep him in the pocket. We wanted to let him, beat us with his arm, which he's capable of doing. But we rather, pick that poison, and that strategy worked.
Philip Lindsay getting a big touchdown in the first half. Emmanuel Sanders, too. The Broncos were up 17-10. Lindsay becomes the first undrafted rookie in team history to score in the season opener. What do you think about this young kid, Ray?
I mean, I said this in April when I saw the kid at CU. I said, if there was any way that we could draft this kid in a later round or get him as a free agent to do so, first of all, I love his football spirit. And then when you're talking about one thing, even though he didn't get invited to the combines, you can't coach or teach speed. He runs a 4.3 40, and you can't coach or teach heart. And that's one thing this kid has. And let's just put it, the 30 magic may have helped him a little bit.
Yeah, the TD
but
magic.
He looked really good, man. He looked really good. I love this kid.
I like him a lot, too. What do you think about Von Miller? He had 2 sacks to close out the half there. 3-sack game. The Vonster came alive.
Well, we're seeing what can happen when that, defensive line comes together. Derek Wolfe, Domata Peko, the nice push up the middle. Chubb and Shaq Barrett on the ends. Shaq Barrett only played 4 plays this game, but one of them ended in a sack. So, that's a pretty good usage rate right there. Yeah. So I think the defense as a whole really allowed Vaughn to make his plays.
6 sacks in total in this game. One thing that nobody's really been talking about is that downfield blocking. On both that Lindsay touchdown and Emmanuel Sanders, we saw young guys blocking down the field, Ray.
And that's the thing, these receivers, man, the one thing I saw them work on all this training camp was blocking, how to sit down in the chair. And they actually used the chair to learn how to move their feet and stay lateral. It was really good blocking downfield, and that's what it takes. Whenever there's a run that's over 10 or 15 yards, you can best believe there's going to be some blocking downfield that helped it.
You saw it with Deshaun Hamilton on that Philip Lindsay catch down the field. I mean, for a young guy to make that play and spring Lindsay along the sideline. I thought that showed veteran moxie already in his first year.
They were up 17-10 at halftime, but the drama really unfolded in the second half.
And straight ahead and running hard is Carson. Carson stripped of the football, and I think the Broncos have it. That ball was taken right out of Carson's hands. And I think Von Miller has the ball. He does. There's the first turnover against the Seattle offense today. 1st and 10 from the 40, moving left to right. Keenum rolls to his right, buys some time, loads it up, throws a crossing route. Dangerous, it's intercepted. Intercepted and running now towards the Seattle sideline. The safety, Bradley McDougal, the second pick. He's across midfield and will dive inside the Denver 45. Just not a good decision by Case Keenum.
Wilson's pass into the end zone, and Brandon Marshall with a touchdown, beating Bradley Roby.
Russell Wilson, quick throw, and he's going to be intercepted by Justin Simmons. Simmons baited Russell Wilson. Didn't anticipate the athletic ability of Justin Simmons, who makes the interception.
Justin Simmons, thank God for him being 6'3" with the bounce that he has, made a great interception.
This attempt by Brandon McManus of 53 yards. Spot, kick, on the way, and it is good from 53.
Wilson, of course, a master at fourth quarter touchdown passes, and he's going to go deep here and wide open, and it's going to be Lockett for the touchdown. I'm not sure if there was a missed assignment downfield, but Lockett looked like a 7-on-7 drill, a 51-yard touchdown pass. And on the rollout, Keenum trying to get it in the end zone. No, incomplete. And Demaryius Thomas is trying to appeal to somebody.
Thomas has the football, but is he going to get the touchdown?
After conference, the ruling on the field is a touchdown.
I guess they liked his appeal.
You just hear the roar. The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
I knew I was in. It's just the referee had to confirm it. I got nice feet on the sideline. I was practicing that before the game. So, he put the ball in the right spot. I, made a play on it, and that was that.
I just threw it as hard as I could. And I didn't see Demaryius catch it. Not that it should surprise me that he catch it, because he's got great hands, but I threw it as hard as I could, and he made a great play.
2 seconds to go. Wilson in the pocket, floats one to a receiver. That ball will be intercepted by Adam Jones. Are they going to call that interception? I think they are, and this one is over. Not perfect, but it's a win. Final score from Broncos Stadium at Mile High: Denver 27, Seattle 24.
All right, so the Broncos get the big win. It's their 7th consecutive win to open up the season. That's a league best. Guys, though, Case Keenum, 3 interceptions. Maybe didn't play his style of ball, right, Ray?
Yeah, if you look at it, I think he got a little bit beside himself. That first interception was, I feel, a miscommunication, because it looked like he was throwing a slant and DT was running a seam, because it was too easy for the safety to pick that off in a cover 1 or cover 3 coverage. So I think he got a little bit beside himself and just started playing out of character. For him, it's not about hero ball. It's about managing the clock, taking care of the football, and hitting your plays when they're available.
But you like the mindset, hey, then no panic, right, man?
No, I think that we saw the confidence. I think that while, yes, he did have his mistakes, I also thought that he did a lot of great things. One of the things that isn't apparent in the stat sheet, though, is the fact that he's inspiring guys. You can see that, last year, if the Broncos were down in that situation, who knows what happens, but you can see the focus, you can see the drive in guys like Emmanuel Sanders, DT, all those guys are buying into the fact that Case can lead that game-winning drive, and he did.
And not only that, the guys are telling him, come on,
right,
stay in it. Whereas last year, you would see some separation on the sideline. These guys all came together after every interception. Even though it was 3 of them, after each one, I saw guys come together and say, hey, building confidence, let's go do it.
Let's go. We're still in this thing. Yeah, that's important. Another thing on the defensive side of the ball to work on, we saw a little bit of missed tackling and then a big miscommunication on that Lockett touchdown.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I say. You hear a lot of people talk about tackling, and maybe it's because they didn't play a lot in the training camp and in the preseason. That has nothing to do with it, world. Let me tell you, tackling is about want to and effort. And there was a couple of piss poor efforts, if you want to say it, on tackling. And then on the big touchdown with Lockett, I really feel it was more so just that was the one time Joe Woods, the defensive coordinator, did not dial up enough pressure. Russell Wilson is too good if you allow him to see the field, sideline to sideline, and give a receiver a chance to make 2 or 3 moves. I don't care who you are. Deion Sanders in Champ Baby wasn't going to come.
Ray Crockett
wasn't going to happen. Ray Crockett was definitely would have been beat.
All right, got the Raiders coming into town this week. Matt, that's always a big game, right?
Huge game, huge game. You think about the last couple of meetings between these two teams. You know, we didn't see Derek Carr in the last one at home because of injury, but you could definitely sense a heightened sense of excitement last time. It ended with that great Justin Simmons interception, going up, high pointing it to seal the game. You know, I think this is going to be a huge game because all those divisional games are huge, right?
And not only that, you got the big time. Chucky is back, Gruden is back, and then the moves he's made. I mean, he changed that roster from one of the youngest rosters to one of the oldest rosters. We don't know how good that's going to be. And then when you let Khalil Mack go, we saw what he's about. And that is something where the Raiders have to come in here against a rival. This is a rivalry game in an AFC West Conference game. So this is going to be a big game, big excited. We need you guys, Bronco Country, to show up and send Gruden back home, Chucky back home with that frown on his face.
Hey, no one more happy than Case Keenum to see Khalil Mack get out of there, right?
No doubt.
All right, guys, a big game coming up on Sunday by the Broncos, 1-0 for now. That's going to do it for the Broncos Recap Show. For Ray Crockett and Matt Boyer, I'm Phil Milani.